I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'll have to sue the courthouse for 100-fold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the
you got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that.
Unless you are a price on a can of beans.
Today, we're looking at a case involving a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen who seems to believe that laws are optional. This person comes off as arrogant and unapologetically disruptive. He's currently serving an additional 3 years for assaulting an officer, on top of a 4-year sentence for armed robbery. His behavior is definitely out of the ordinary, but not in a good way. What do you think? Is this a case of misunderstanding the law or something deeper? Let's break down this intense court case.
Are you ready on Goodman?
Well, Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman asked me to tell you that the prosecutor in this case has no power of attorney over him. He's an Israelite. There's no grounds under the bar code this matter should be dismissed. I believe he may want to represent himself. You may ask for some clarification if you talk to Mr. Goodman, but that's what he told me to tell you.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman, are you requesting that you represent yourself on this matter? You're muted, Mr. Goodman.
What I'm saying is nobody has power of attorney law over me through the bar code. I'm the beneficiary. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said, because that's what the law is. I got common law jurisdiction. It's a non-violent crime. So I push for it to be dismissed under the bar code.
It's not going to be dismissed today. So simple question. Are you representing yourself from this point forward? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm counseling myself.
All right. Mr. Bowditch, you're out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I said, are you planning on filing a motion, or would you like to set this case for trial?
I'm planning on filing a motion to dismissal because there's no grounds or no standing over my case, because nobody has power of attorney law to hear me, to even take this process even further. You got to prove that first. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me to hear this matter. Okay, I'm an Israelite.
You're saying, but you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. You don't have power of attorney law. The prosecutor don't have power of attorney law. You don't have power of attorney law. It's under the bar code.
Mr. Goodman, please do not interrupt me. I'm trying to be polite.
Okay, it's under the bar code, though. This is what you signed up to do. You're a public servant. So
right. Unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
Yes, I am. I'm a human being. I'm not a deity. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that. It's under the barcode. This is the real law.
Come here.
You have no standing or no ground.
Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date for your motion.
I'm only here to claim for a reason.
Pardon me?
I want all my rights intact to me at all times.
Imagine choosing to risk an extra 3 years in prison when you could have had that time reduced. Makes perfect sense, right? This guy is already serving time for aggravated robbery, and if he's found guilty after his jury trial, he's looking at a total of 13 years. What's his plan here? He keeps fixating on 3 years, but it's adding up fast. Is he just collecting prison time for fun? Because that's how it looks. And with his behavior, a guilty verdict seems almost certain. What do you think? Let's dive back in. Next voice. This guy just doesn't get it. I bet if he were facing 10 years, he'd shrug it off like, it's only 10 years, bro. Does he not realize you only get one life? 3 years is a huge chunk of time, but he acts like it's nothing. Am I overreacting, or is 3 years actually a long time? Think about it. Can you even clearly remember what you were doing 3 years ago? It's kind of scary how some people don't take the law seriously, especially when they're out here walking into gas stations with weapons, threatening people like it's no big deal. What makes someone think that's okay? Is there something mentally off, or is he just reckless? If you've got a free attorney, at least listen to their advice. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's get back into it.
Are you still living on border? Mr. Goodman, are you still living on border?
Ashley, keep yourself muted, please. Your child keeps crying.
Thank you.
No, I live somewhere else. I moved.
All right. Can you give me that address, please?
I stay at hotel rooms from time to time because I don't have no house right now. So I'm in former hotel rooms.
Geographically, where are you at today?
Detroit, Michigan.
All right. So my next pretrial date is when, Heather?
It is March 8th.
All right. So, Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date on March 8th to file a motion. You file a motion, we'll hear it on March 8th. That's going to be in person.
Motion for dismissal?
Whatever you want to file a motion. You said you wanted to file a motion. So I'm giving you a hearing date for your motion.
What time?
We'll schedule that at 10 a.m. and this is going to be live. No Zoom.
All right.
I'm having trouble.
All right. I want all my rights and text me all the time.
Pardon?
I'm only here to threaten confusion. I just want all my rights and text me all the times. And everybody just got to prove that they got power of attorney.
You got to slow down because you're talking so fast I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting. Okay,
what I'm saying is for the dismissal, I'm about to put it in today. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'm going to have to sue the courthouse for 100-fold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the,
you got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. You don't have power. I don't care what you're talking about. You got
over you, Mr. Goodman. Listen,
yes, you do. You need power of attorney law to talk to me. You ain't got no ground. You ain't no standing. You ain't got no ground to understand. I got the affidavit of truth right here. I got authenticate birth certificate. I got a letter of intent over here right now. I broke all my contracts with the government. I'm not those capital letters. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. My name is Israel. I'm an Israelite. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. You don't got no power of attorney law over me.
You clearly don't understand what mitigating circumstances are, which is why you need legal representation. 3 years may seem like nothing to you, but it's significant. Let me ask you, do you understand? You won't misbehave in my courtroom or in front of this jury. If you do, things will end badly for you, and fast. You chose the jury trial, and you keep saying it's only 3 years. Fine, but understand this. If you represent yourself, it will hurt your case. I've told you this multiple times, and I strongly advise against it. You may not agree with me, but I'm telling you, it will be detrimental. You'll be held to the same standards as any defense attorney, and I will expect no less from you. Have you ever represented yourself in a criminal case before? No. Then are you sure you want to proceed without an attorney? If you need a moment, fine, but take that time to think carefully about what you're doing. We'll take a quick break if you need it.
People P84088.
All right. And Mr. Goodman, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Murphy, what are we doing on these files?
Judge, it's my understanding that Mr. Goodman has an appointment at the Forensic Center on January 31st. As Your Honor knows, he has pending cases in Frank Murphy. He went before Judge Michael Callahan yesterday. He was, his bond was reinstated with a tether. I believe Your Honor has put a 250, 10% bond on Mr. Goodman. You know, Your Honor, that I'm going to ask you to reduce that bond to something affordable.
All right, so I've got two files. One file's got that 250, 10% with a GPS tether. That would be the February 5, 2022 incident date. And then the other file, which is the misdemeanor file from May 10, 2019, he's just on a personal on that one with a GPS tether.
Right, and you know, Your Honor, that I don't represent him on the DV.
Right. But he finally does have a date for a forensic exam?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So you just want to adjourn the PCC?
Yes, Judge. And ask for a reduction in bond.
Thank you. And Mr. Goodman, have you talked to an attorney on the domestic violence case, or are you representing yourself on that one?
I have nobody to represent me. I think it was Langford or something was supposed to be my attorney. I'm not sure how it went south.
Okay. All right, counsel, go ahead and make your bond argument. But before you do, just so we're all on the same page, my notes say it's $25,000, 10%, no contact with complaining victim, and GPS tether. Is that your understanding?
So, Judge, I thought it was 250,000, 10%, 25,000.
I don't know what I just said, but
Oh,
My file says 250, well, yeah, 250,000, 10%, correct.
so Judge, I mean, obviously that's unaffordable, Mr.
This guy is clearly stalling. After all this talk about representing himself, now he suddenly wants to think about it. Come on, it feels like he's just trying to buy some time. Am I wrong? Do you think he's being sincere, or is he just looking for a way out? Maybe even planning to run? He's the same guy who held up a gas station and got 10 years, and now he's acting like 3 years doesn't matter. Red flags are all over the place. He doesn't seem to care about much, which makes him dangerous. Cops need to stay cautious. Let's dive back in.
Acquired new housing, Your Honor. They have a baby. Mr. Goodman needs to be there to assist with childcare responsibilities because both of them were working before Mr. Goodman was taken into custody. I know we've had some issues, Your Honor, with appearing in court. Mr. Goodman has had transportation issues with respect to getting to the forensic center, and that was his issue, Judge. The tether violation was simply a malfunction of equipment. So I would ask Your Honor to, and since they do not have means, Your Honor, I would ask Your Honor to reduce I'm asking Your Honor for a personal with the tether.
Response. And counsel, you don't have to jump up to talk to me. I know it's instinctive, but it's okay if you don't.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is instinctive. Your Honor, in this case, he is before us for a misdemeanor DV. I understand he does have some pending felonies. I understand he's on a GPS tether for the felonies. I believe at this time, the most important thing is that he remain on, or that if he is released, he remains on a GPS tether. So in this case, I would not object to a personal bond.
Sorry. Ms. Murphy, unfortunately, this is one of those situations where I don't care what the parties think, because I've got a long history. This building's got a long history with Mr. Goodman not showing up in court. So I set the bond for that reason. I'm keeping the bond as it is for that reason.
I honestly thought he'd say no to reading and writing. This guy's acting like a complete fool. Do you feel any sympathy for him? Maybe a rough childhood messed with his head, but that's no excuse for behaving like this in court. No matter your past, you should know better. This guy might not be your typical sovereign citizen, but he's definitely one of the rudest and least intelligent people we covered. He's facing 3 years in prison, and he's still playing games. What do you think? Does he deserve sympathy, or is he just digging his own grave? Honestly, if he catches another charge in prison, they'll probably just shrug it off like it's only another 5 years. Let's get back to the verdict.
But I got insomnia.
He overslept, Judge. That's what he's saying.
All right. So here's the thing. You need to be on time for court. Otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? Whether you're 20 or 18, guess what? We'll make sure that you come on time. If you're not on time, we'll know where you are. You know how we'll know that?
Got my address.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, y'all got my address.
No, because you'll be in Orange and we'll bring you over from the jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
In school?
Yes.
To 10th grade.
All right. Why did you only go to the 10th grade?
I dropped out
Why?
because there was like a lot of drama.
All right. So let me explain to you about drama. Drama is you coming before the court and not addressing the court properly. Drama is using slang and not proper English coming before the court. So my advice is you probably want to get your GED so that you can get a job, because now it is hard to get good employment without at least a high school diploma. And even if you have a high school diploma, it's still hard. Guess what? People who go to college, and I'm not talking to people who go to college and they're getting a degree in philosophy, finding a job. I mean, people who are going to college, getting a degree in engineering, biology, they're all having a hard time finding employment. So you come along and you don't even have a 10th grade education and you're trying to get employment, it does not look good. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
I was employed.
So that's a no, right? You're not working?
No, ma'am.
So that means that your mom or somebody is supporting you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you come back here on the 27th, you're going to come on time and you're going to address the court properly. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. We have an excuse?
Yes.
I honestly can't believe this guy is talking to the judge like this. He clearly doesn't care at all. The funniest part is, this scrawny guy is trying to act tough with the judge. Who's he fooling? The judge isn't buying it, and neither are we. Let's be real. He's probably already someone's boyfriend in prison. Maybe that's why he's so relaxed about facing more time. I think I figured it out. He's just a guy trying to act tough, but he probably has a whole relationship waiting for him back there. I'm not judging, just saying. What do you guys think? Let's dive back in.